kuphi nakuphi emakhaya emadolobheni nasekompla stop khona lapho kwebukela khona SABC 1 sabemukela ukubukela kwesiqephu sethu saleli viki selihlelo lakho your leading consumer affairs TV show Yilungelo Lakho right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Mbukele ke umthetho we-Consumer Protection Act uvikela ke bathengi ukuthi bakhona ukubuyisela impahla etitolo uma ngabe ke adikho kuma standards phecelezi lofanele ukuthi usebenzise. Kepha ngalesikhathi ke se-lockdown bekunene kubuyisela ke impahla etitolo kungasusa inqushunqushu. Mina ke ngimSimphiwe Ngcongwane bekunene nyalo kasingena endzabeni yethu. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought about some changes to our rights as consumers. Now, exercising your legal rights to return goods such as clothing items, retail stores may not be easy. I mean, many retailers now no longer accept returned clothing items for fear of COVID-19 contamination. So you might want to think a little bit more carefully before walking out of that store with that clothing item, or you might just be throwing your money down the drain. Nyalo ke bekunene kukhuluma kabanti ke ngalokugucula kwemthetho wekuphindisela kwetimpahla phecelezi i-returns policy and your rights currently asasimukele ke Lakho setati lomele ke i-Consumer Goods Council of South Africa siphinde sibe naye ke na Omar Amaru yena ke uvela ehhovisi le-Consumer Goods and Services Ombudsman. Ladies, sanamukele ehlelweni sanibonani.
Sawubona Siphiwe nababukeli.
Sanimukela make Ramar angicale ngawe ukuthi asosichazele kabanti ngelishintsho lolube khona ke ku-Consumer Protection Act in terms of ama returns policy.
Siphiwe nababukeli i-Consumer Protection Act ine provision ukuthi umthengi unelungelo lokuthi abuyisele impahla makube impahla zinenkinga sithi makube impahla zi defective. Then umthengi has got all the rights ukuthi azibuyisele emuva athole imali yakhe back. So further to that, i-Consumer Protection Act ithi makube umthengi uthenge impahla angazi-examinanga anganikezanga i-chance yokuthi azibone makube azikho fit for purpose, then umthengi unamalungelo wokuzibuyisela emuva. Or umthengi makube uthenge impahla out of direct marketing bakufonela bakuthengisela izinto through the phone or bakokota emnyango kwakho, that is direct marketing. Wena unamalungelo wokuthi uchange umcondo wakho unikezwa i-5 days cooling off period. On the other hand, mawuthenge online Siphiwe, mawuthenge online umthetho ukunikeza 7 days cooling off ukuthi ubuyisele impahla emuva. So i-Consumer Protection Act ngaleyo ndlela iyabavikela abathengi ukuthi if impahla they are not fit for purpose, then umthengi unamalungelo ukuthi azibuyisele emuva.
Okay, Lakho, let me bring you into this conversation in as much as we've seen that the new amendments of these regulations, or rather of the CPA Act, may impede on the rights of consumers. Lakho Setati, I would love to hear your thoughts with regards to, will this not violate the rights of consumers?
Thank you, Simpiwe, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. What we can say as the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa, working with retailers, being it retailers from the food perspective and from the clothing perspective, we do respect and we do recognize the Consumer Protection Act. However, we need to understand, as the President has said, this is the new normal, and we are all trying by all means to ensure that the spread of the virus is contained. So what we have done and what we have seen in most of the clothing retail stores is that they would put flyers across the stores where they would say, you cannot fit this. You might find such information on fitting for shoes. So we have asked them to populate the stores with those information so that the consumer, even before they engage in buying or purchasing, they already know what the processes may be. Because what we're really trying to do as retailers is that we need to ensure that the virus is contained. So in terms of the risk assessment that will be done in the store, we would say what are the high-risk clothing that would get a person to sort of share the virus with any other person that may come and buy the product or fit the product as well. So that's the essence of it all. We are trying to ensure that consumers are informed of the implications should they buy. But what we have seen is that there are flyers and they inform you. I just recently visited a shop where I asked them, I saw that you cannot fit shoes. So you approach the store and you ask them the reasoning behind that. And they said, yes, we do not allow for fitting for shoes. However, you can bring them back. And once you bring them back, they will disinfect them. So they will apply all measures in place to ensure that consumers are protected and we are containing the virus.
I mean, you just mentioned some flyers informing the consumers of the changes to some of these laws. So what if there is no such flyer in this shop? What if there's no notice of, the change in the returns policy or the no-fitting policy? And and then I return that particular item to the shop. Do I have a case? Because the retailer or the supplier didn't inform me of any changes.
Well, you will have to follow. The Consumer Protection Act is still in place. It hasn't been amended under the disaster management. So we will have to comply to the law as it currently stands. But as I say, consumers must just be aware that when you're in store, please talk to the retailers. As and when you're doing the shopping at the till point, just ensure that if maybe you're buying for a child that you could not bring to the store, just check with them, let's talk, and then let's ensure that we are informed and thoroughly so. But we do communicate with the retailers to say, populate those messages in the store so that consumers know where you have amended a little bit in terms of managing the situation.
Now, Oma nguveke earlier on ukhuluma ngekuthina ngabe khona ke umthengi noma ke isupplier lekhamba ikokotela emnyango, like for instance mina ke ngihawker ngiyathengisa timpahla ngiphindze ngitithengisa ke ebhuthini yami ngiphuma ngiyangena ke la emtini ngithengise. Lo mthetho lona, does it also apply to hawkers or is it only confined to the big retailers? Ukuthi uma ngabe mina ngihawker and ngithengisa ke impahla lengamneli ke lo mthengi loyo ukuthi angakhona ukuyibuyisela?
Remember Simpiwe nababukeli ukuthi umthetho we-Consumer Protection Act apply to everyone who is perceived ukuthi uthengisela umthengi. Immediately mawunikeza umuntu impahla uthatha imali yakhe, that is a transaction enzakalayo. So you are committing yourself ukuthi if anything goes wrong on a product, I will be accountable. So this is the situation Simpiwe. Makube uyathengisa izinto into enze thina ombudsman sikhiphe le media release ukuthi we were receiving ama complaints from the public ukuthi when we go eitolo or masithenga izinto la sisithenga khona, we are not allowed to return. And I'm glad ukuthi Sis Maklo, she's emphasizing ukuthi they are talking to the stores ukuthi they must really communicate nabathengi ukuthi they must be aware before they can purchase anything. So same applies to Maui Hawker. And remember, the whole thing is being done to curb the spread of the virus. We need to flatten the curve. So we are responsible to do that. So Tina, as the Ombudsman Office, we are saying, as much as we understand that the stores want to prevent the spreading of the virus, can they also, on the same note, banganyatheli amalungelo wabathengi? So mawukhuluma ngama-hawkers is very scary, and we want the same measures to also apply kulaba abangenayo ezindlini bathengisa ukuthi the main objective esifuna ukuthi si-achieve is that we need to curb the spread. Into esifunayo. So ngathi i-CPA umthetho ukhona ukhavara wonke umuntu, and the issue yokukheva i-spread, everyone must take responsibility in doing that.
Okay, asishiye khona lapho ke inkulumo yethu sitawuchubeka nayo emva kwaleli khefu. Sentivele ke bekunene ukuthi nangabe ke uyihawker, okay, namhla ke bekunene sikhuluma ngenzaba yema returns policy ukuthi nangabe uthenge impahla akuvumeleki ukuthi ubuyisele esitolo, futhi ke nekuthinza impahla akavumeleki. Sentivele ke bekunene ukuthi nangabe uyihawker futhi nawe umthetho we-Consumer Protection Act uyakukhunga ukuthi ulandzele. Thathile, that is the gist of our conversation namhla. Nawe mbukela ungaba ingcenye futhi ngikhuluma namhla kushaya lecingo ku 011-714-6918 noma 011-714-6919. Ungabeka futhi nembono wakho ku Facebook. Kwanyalo asisishwi ngasetolo. Leli lungelo lakho. Namhla ke bekunene sikhuluma thathile sikhuluma ngema returns policy noma ke kubuyisela kwetimpahla etitolo ke njengoba sesihlangene naleli bhubhane le coronavirus. Singakachubeke nenkulumo yetfu sicocisene ke nalabanye ke bathengi ngalendzaba yokungavunyelwa ukuphinziselwa nekulinganisa kwetimpahla etitolo. Asesibevela bekunene uthi bathini?
Some stores don't allow us to actually fit our clothing. Now, it is normal for you to fit clothing just to make sure if they look good on you or if they feel good on you.
I bought my youngest daughter a pair of shoes, only to find out that when I got it home, the shoes don't fit. So when I look at the receipt, I realized that we're not supposed to return anything to the store until the pandemic is over.
Kodwa ndicinga ukuba licebo elihle ukuba abantu bangayifithishi okanye bayibuyise impahla sebeyithengile. Umuntu ufuneke aye eyazi size yakhe.
If you are size large, you rather go for extra large because all of us we gain weight in this lockdown.
With this COVID-19, isikhathi sokuthi accept indlela entsha yokuphila. Isikhathi sokuthi wazi uma uya e-store ukuthi ugcoka usize bani, uyofuna into enjani, kungabi nento ukuthi ubamba uyeke ubhizi uspreadana necorona. This is serious and kumele nathi sithathe serious.
Imuvo ke lehlukehlukene ke bathengi ke ngalendzaba ke kubuyisela kwetimpahla ke etitolo returns policy which has been severely affected by the coronavirus pandemic. We have on the line Omar Amaru kanye ke naMakho Setati. Ladies, I'm sure you've heard some of the voice pops by some of our listeners and viewers, and some of them Makho Setati, I'm going to start with you. Some of them talked about the issue of children. Kuthi ke yena ke wathengela ticatfulo temntwana ke lomncane and she was not supposed to return those shoes. And I've seen that part of the regulations, of the amendments of these regulations, prohibit children from entering into stores. So in what way are children a risk?
Well, asike sithi if sibheka lento le silwa nayo lesifo sinzima and nobody knows, even in terms of science, we haven't really figured it out. So imagine if older people are struggling in terms of survival, what would happen to a child if they contract the disease? So the first thing and foremost is that let's protect the vulnerable. People that are older than 60 years, that's why the president has said they need to work from home. And that the same applies to children. So if you're taking children to a store, you are actually exposing them to any possibility of them getting the virus. So in that case where you can apply the issue of getting the size that they used to wear and take it to the store. But what we must urge consumers is this: in as much as a till slip or the communication says something, you have the ultimate right as a consumer to communicate your worries and your concerns. The first and foremost thing that you need to do is in the store, engage them, know this right. And that's the essence of why we are today and the Ombuds is here today to say, let's educate ourselves, let's know our rights, let's communicate these things when we are in the store. So buy the shoes, check with the retailer, what is my rights in terms of this, because I'm sitting in a situation where I do not know the size of my child. So that you step out of the store knowing exactly what you would need to do in a case of that person not being able to be fit into the shoe. So I think let's just talk to them, and then either it's on a receipt or so, go back to the store and engage them. This is what the law says. We just have to find common ground and balance the measures as we go.
Make uma utivele ke babukele sebakhulumile ngenzaba ukukhinyabeteka kwamalungelo abo ke kulama returns policy noma ke kulolu shintsho lelikhona kulama returns policy. Kuthi wena ungaphawula uthini?
Mina ngingathi ngizwe umunye umlaleli athi yena urealize ku receipt. That is when aseka sekhaya. You understand? So it's a real concern, Gwiti, as an office that advocates the rights of consumers and their responsibilities. Uguti, as much as we responsibility yestolo to communicate this, like Usis Makho asho Guti, when you also have all the rights to ask. Konamanje Simpiwe, what we are doing, we are telling the stores, the big stores, I promise you, they are adhering to these laws. Ne? But we don't know what is happening to corner shop store. But it is me as a consumer, onamalungelo wokuthi make ngibuze before I transact. Even on a normal day, a national disaster, we educate consumers ukuthi before you transact with that store, understand their terms and policies so that you transact with them mind informed. You know, so the same applies namanje when we are trying to manage the disaster. Uguti, let us ask, Uguti, mangithenga la, if the thing is not suitable, do I have the rights to bring it back? I want to ask Tina Simpiwe Nabalaleni Uguti, we need to understand there are two things here. CPA inikeza abathengi the rights to return the product if the product is defective. In that way, it's not negotiable because the product is defective, Simpiwe. But on the flip side of the coin, Magube, you are changing your mind. When you change your mind, it's things like, one, the garment is not fitting. I'm changing my mind because I realize I don't need it, or I've got another one in the wardrobe, the same color. You understand? So now the law doesn't protect you in that regards. Then the law allows itolo to compile their own terms and conditions. CPA won't go into their terms and conditions when they've got their own estolo zoguti if you have changed your mind. But now let's look at the time now, Silwa ne virus, and the product it's defective. That is not negotiable. The product is not serving its purpose, number one. The product is not durable. The product is not performing its purpose. In that way, we cannot negotiate. So those are exclusive matters. You understand? I hope Abalaleli Baya understand Guti. Gune area whereby when the product is failing you at home, normal terms and conditions as a store that we do not accept returns. You do not have a choice. The product is failing me. But if now the problem it's because I was not given a chance, remember the consumer has the right to be given a chance according to section 18 to examine. Examine means fitting the garment to see Uguti is it fit for purpose. But that right is being taken away during this time because we're trying to manage, the stores are trying to manage the spread of the virus. Now, hence we are saying as the Ombud, can we strike a balance? Can we arrive to some agreement, Uguti? Magube, the product maufike kaya aisaklingani, what then? Will we accept it? Must we accept? This is what we are going to do to make sure that it doesn't spread the virus to the next person. I hope they must be clear. When the product is defective, you cannot sit with that product at home. Returns. No, in that way, you have the rights and CPA can stand with you. However, if the product it's not fitting ngoba awunikezwanga ichance yokuyifita, then ungalandelela ama terms and conditions wase-store.
So kule mithetho lemisha ke Mayo Oma ukhuluma ke about the sale of defective goods ukuthi nangabe ngiyayireturna lapho ngithola i-refund noma nginalo yini ilungelo lokucela lenye impahla ukuthi banginike.
Remember, the Consumer Protection Act is very clear in Section 55, Uguti, if the product is not fit for purpose and failure, it's defective, when you have the rights to the 3 R's, remember it's a refund, a replacement, or a repair. And those rights, you are the one who detects them. What do you want? If the product is failing you within 6 months from the date of purchase, I say failure within 6 months. Then you go back to the store. Can I have my money back? Can I have the new one? Those are your rights that you are given by the Consumer Protection Act.
Okay, Matlo, I'm sure you've heard Mayo Omar Ramarulapa making a very valid point with regards to defective goods. So what is your response to that?
The response is that we have the law. We've got the Consumer Protection Act. That's our guiding force. And I like the way she put it to say you've got the 3 R's. You need to then go to the store and make the decision in engagement with the store and say, due to this defective item, this is what I wish for you to do. And you need to decide as a consumer. And that's the way it should be. And it is the law. It is the consumer protection law. That's what most retailers would abide by. So we do reiterate the message from the Ombuds that we do support the Consumer Protection Act as it is. However, as she said, this is the issue pertaining to public health, where everyone is fighting to get the virus contained. So we need to just work together, but in compliance with the consumer protection law.
You know, Lakho, I've been doing so much research and I've been reading up a lot about the lifespan of this virus on fabric or on clothing items, and very little has been mentioned with regards to the lifespan on clothes. So what are the risks then, associated with fitting or returning clothes?
Well, indeed, as you may say, in terms of science, we rely on the NICD and the World Health Organization. There isn't really a scientific, concrete science, but you'd need to call scientists to come and back that information. In terms of the surface, because it needs to be tested as they do in their research in terms of how long does it stay on clothing. And remember, clothing, we've got various types of clothing materials. So they would need to then ascertain in terms of how long does it stay on plastic, how long does it stay on stainless steel. And those details are not really clear because this is a new virus that we're trying to get to know. So the risk is that once it is on a surface, how long does it stay there until we know for sure that on clothing it can go after 2 hours or so, but we do not know. And also the issue of humidity, the temperature in a particular space makes the conversation even more difficult because it would then we need to know all of those details. What temperature would the virus thrive, and the humidity thereof, and so forth. So what the retailers are doing is that where clothes are returned, they do proper disinfection before they send them back to the shelves. So those are the measures that they had to put in place in terms of them ensuring that there is a minimal transmission of the virus. So in terms of surface and contact areas and how long they stay, we cannot really comment on that until the science really clarifies in terms of how long they can stay on that. But I need to raise this. There was an issue that came up. It can be a little bit of a funny one, where people were fitting masks and returning them to the person that was selling. So it's such things that we need to take consideration of in terms of where does the law then allow me? You know you are allowed to fit something, but then do you need to fit some things in this situation that we find ourselves in? So that's what we can live at. Thank you.
Ay Lakho, wasithinza ke sikhehle samanyuvu indzaba ke yamamask kepha ke sitawukhuluma kabanti ke emva kwaleli khefu siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi ke usichazele kabanti ngale ndzaba leyo. Bekunale sikhuluma nge-returns policy noma ke kubuyisela kwetimpahla etitolo uma ngabe uthengile watfola ukuthi awukenetiseke ngaleyo mpahla leyo ukuthi ke njengoba kunale coronavirus pandemic le, some of these laws have been altered or changed for your own protection. Sishayele ke licingo bekunene tincoto lesetivuliwe ke studio lines are 0117146918 noma ke 0117146919. Sibute ke umbuto ke sina Maklo Setati yena ke umele titolo siphinde sinamba Omana Ramaru yena uphuma ehhovisi le ombudsman yebathengi ke phecelezi i-Consumer Goods and Service Ombudsman. Shayele licingo usibute umbuto ngaloko sayetolo siyabuya khona nyalo. The Consumer Goods and Service Ombudsman says present times call for a balance between adhering to the Consumer Protection Act and curbing the spread of this virus. Those participation lines are on your screens right now. The magic number is 0117146918, nomage 0117146919. Let's take our first caller. Sina Gloria ulapha ke Thembisa sakumule lihlelo sawubona.
Yebo njani?
Siyaphila kunjani mama? Khuluma nathi mama.
Siyaphila. Ngithenge ibruku e-shopping lase total sport. And then mangifika endlini umuntu amaligqoka langamlingani. And then masijika siya e-shop basitshela ukuthi ibruku angeke silibisele emuva and they cannot give us i-refund.
Ya ngiyathemba ke boyilalela ke le nkulumo yethu Gloria ukuthi vele umthetho usho njalo uthi ema returns noma ke ema refund ngathi asamisiwe ke njengoba libhidlangile libhubhane le coronavirus ingabe bowathi lo mthetho loyo.
No, bengawazi ngicela ukuzwa kwamanje.
Awusitshele ke Gloria ukuthi le stolo bowukhona lo mthetho noma ke beyibhaliwe inotice ukuthi ema returns akavumeleki.
No, abasitshelanga lutho. Sithe masiceda ukuthenga masizobuyela ngikhani basitshela ukuthi angeke sibuyisele emuva impahla masizithengile.
So kude ne notice lebeyibhalwe ebonzeni lapha estolo.
No, ababhalanga lutho.
Okay, Gloria, siyabonga kusishayela. Ladies, I'd love both of you to respond to that. Omar Amaru, let me start with you. I mean, is this conversation we've been having since the start of the show? Bamalele ukuthi abuyisele impahla estolo and yena ke uthi kude ne notice abakatshela nekutshela ukuthi ema returns akavumeleki.
Yebo Simpiwe, i-office ye-ombudsman, that is the reason siyasathi sikhiphe le media release ukuthi si-advise the stores ukuthi kubaleke kangakanani to communicate with your customers ukuthi before bangathenga bazi ukuthi what are their rights. Uyabona ngoba we have realized ukuthi abantu bathi only when they return they are told we cannot accept. But I'm glad that today Sis Lakho, she's clarifying it, they've communicated with them, you know, but the show is helping us to learn ukuthi that means akusi zonke itolo that are applying what they've been told ukuthi mele ba communicate nama customer in advance so that the customer libe ne information ukuthi am I buying or not, because mawuyeka umuntu athenga ungamtshelanga ukuthi they cannot return, that means akuna open and honest transaction lapho, whereas i-Consumer Protection Act ithini mele kube ne-disclosure kuwonke ama-transaction ayenzakalayo and i-transaction ibe fair and honest. But mase sibona ukuthi kusasenama-customer whereby they are not informed, they are just surprised when they have to return the goods or the product, then we in a way we are violating their rights. Can we tell them as stores, and as much as Consumer Goods Council is telling the retailers to communicate with them, and again we are also saying to the customers, now you are informed, can you also be on the lead and ask before you can transact at the till and ask what are my rights?
Matlo, while the Consumer Goods Council is still in the process of communicating to the various retailers about issues around disclosure, as Omar Amaru has just articulated, and issues around informing the consumers of the amendments of these regulations, what should Gloria do in the meantime? Because no disclosure took place there. She was not informed and she was not told of the changes to these rules. What can consumers do in the meantime?
Okay. What Gloria can do, but I must clarify this, enye into nayi in South Africa. In as much as the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa is an industry association, not every retailer is a member of the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa. So, but that is why we engage in these forums to say each and every retailer or every manufacturer, align yourself with the industry association, because that is where you'll get the key and relevant information for you to be properly informed in terms of how you manage situations, especially in terms of a disaster. You would need to get hands-on in terms of the information. However, as we have said, we are totally aligned with the Consumer Protection Act. And what Gloria needs to go is to go back to the store and inform them that this is the process, because ultimately she needs to start with the store in terms of any complaints that she would have to then lay with the Consumer Goods Ombuds, which she is free to do, and their office is open, and Usis Oma can allude to that. So she needs to go back to the store now that she is informed, and this show has given her the necessary rules in terms of what we apply as the law. So then she needs to go back to the store with the information that has been provided on the store so that she's done correctly by the law.
All right, thanks for that point. Let's take our next caller, Sina Sbuiselo, ulapha ke Lady Smith, sakumore hlele sawubona.
Yebo kunjani bhuti?
Siyaphila kunjani baba?
Yebo bhuti, cha mina ngifuna ukubuza mayelana nokwami kodwa kuhlukile kancane mfowethu. Futhi bengise-Witbank ngathatha isicathulo lapha e-Truworth. So inkinga yaba ukusekuthenini ukuthi ngafitha lesicathulo lezekhe advertiswayo yabona. Alright, size 9 ngisanginela ngendlela sanginela ngalo. Into yaba inkinga ukuthi mase bengihambela bongithathela ngalo kuma-box bangifakela isicathulo. Mase ngifika la ekhaya ngizama ukuthi ngiyasilinganisa. Esodwa soka left asikhonanga ukungifitha because sasu-6 futhi kahle kahle bafaka u-6 and 9. I-problem mase ngithi ngisibuyisela emuva lapho e-Truworth. Base bethi ngeke bekwazi ukuthi ngishintshe isicathulo, ngcono ngithathe impahla engakhona ukukhava lesicathulo kodwa sasibiza 700 rand.
Shose kahle kahle bakunika isize le wrong noma ke isize lengasiyo.
Ya bafaka u-6 and 9 kahle kahle mina ifitha isicathulo sami ku-9 futhi baphambanisa ekutheni ukuthi kwasho ukuthi mase kufuna ukuthi bebheke isicathulo esiwu-9 abangakhona ukusithola ngaleso sikhathi singithi phela ngisirithena ngisibuyisele emuva. Kwase bethi angithathe impahla kodwa manje kwase ngase ngiyithatha nje impahla ngoba sengiphoqeleka kodwa kahle kahle inhloso yami ukuthi ngithathe isicathulo.
Okay, sibuyisele saba ukhulu kulelo kuphuzile lo selendile. Maklo Setati, I'm sure you've heard the point there by Sibuyiselo. Sibuyiselo is complaining that he went into a retail store and he fitted shoes and he wanted to buy that particular pair of shoes. But then when the shop assistant went to the storeroom to get a box of that shoes, only to realize when he gets home that they put in two different sizes, size 6 and size 9. And when he went back to that shop, he was not allowed, he was not allowed to exchange that particular pair of shoes. So in terms of the regulations, what does the law provide with regards to this? Because it's no fault of his that they put in two different sizes.
I don't know if I should take this. It's best suited with the Ombuds office. But in this case, the store must just do right by the consumer. But I'll leave Usis Oma to respond to it from an ombuds and law perspective.
Okay, sis Oma, yeah,
thank you so much. Thank you, Osmato. Simpiwe, case it's very clear. There's no way you can end up with a size 6 and a size 9 ekaya. So that means it's clearly a mistake as a store, so they must take accountability. No, offer something else. I don't see how does that fit into his problem. Yeah, but so if he's not happy about that, he's welcome to lodge a complaint with our office, and we can then liaise with the relevant store and investigate the matter.
So make Matloge ukhulume ngekushintshisana kwema-mask nangabe uthenga ubuka i-mask uyayifitha ubona ukuthi akusiyo uphinze uyishiye uthathe lenye ukuthi lokho it has to do with touching a particular clothing item and lokho ke it spreads the coronavirus. So consumers argue that touching clothes without buying them also poses a risk of spreading the virus. Ingabe lokho ke kuhluke ngani ke kule mithetho noma ke lama regulations nama amendments?
I would say, and I'm talking from just general perspective. Uma sibheka in terms of e-mask is in very close contact with the two sources of where the saliva or the virus can be transmitted from. So it can be either from your nose or from your mouth. So you breathing into something directly, and we don't know how long that virus can survive on that particular thing. So if you fit it immediately just now and someone else comes after a few minutes to fit the same mask, and we do not know currently who's been tested and who's positive and who is negative. So that is the highest risk. However, that is why we normally advise people, even in our families, to say, when you go shopping, stop touching and touching and touching here. When you touch and you have got the virus somewhere in your hands or so forth, even touching your mask as you're busy fitting it, that's why it's critical for you to get a proper fitting mask, so that, because if I exhale and I'm in close contact with someone, that's where the social distancing comes in. I speak and then someone speaks into the mask, the virus will be on the outside, not necessarily going inside. So we try to say, touching a lot of surfaces increases the risk because you don't know who has been there and what is on there. And also you need to then, when you do your when you touch any surfaces, you thoroughly sanitize as you're doing things. This is critically the new normal. You would never see people sanitizing as they're doing their shopping, but because we're sitting in this situation, those are the key issues that we need to adopt. But fitting of masks and without disinfection before another person buys it is critically out of the question. We need to refrain from doing that as consumers and as sellers of those cloth masks.
All right, let's leave it there for now. We'll take another break. We'll have more. Asisiphinze futhi sithathe carefully elinye mbukeli sitawubuyela khona nyalo. Welcome back. Sisahleleke na Omar Ramaru, yena ke ubuya office le Consumer Goods and Service Ombudsman. Yena ke umelele nine ke bathengi, and she's also the custodian of the Consumer Protection Act. Siphinze sibe na Matlo Setati from the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa. She represents all outlets. Now onke ke ema retailers, they are joining us now via Skype. Sikhuluma ke ngendzaba yokubuyisela kwetimpahla etitolo phecelezi i-returns policy. Nekuthi ke some of these shops do not allow ema fittings in store. Ukuthi uthatha impahla uyifitha ubone ukuthi iyakunela and ube nesiqiniseko sesi uyakunela before uyithenge. Matlo, I'm going to stay with you. Ukuthi why are we not allowed to return clothes at stores or even fit clothes in stores for fear of contaminating these clothes? Yet we are allowed to walk into a shop to take a clothing item, to have a look at it, maybe place it across my chest to see whether it fits. I mean, what difference does it make?
Oh, that's a difficult question. What difference does it make? I would say touching a product and leaving it there, the minimum contact, it's minimum contact. However, when you're fitting, I don't know how other people fit it, but then some take it from the top down. And I'm just talking from general perspective because we are operating in a situation where nobody knows what they need to do, but they are doing the best they can in order to ensure that the transmission is not there. We are curbing the virus. So as we have said, the issue of fitting and not fitting, let's just go with the mind that there's a balancing effect here. You do not fit, but you must return your clothes. Where you have fitted your clothes, then you are satisfied, then you need to follow the principles of the Consumer Protection Act and say, is it defective? Is it not satisfying? Because the reasons then leads to the decision that will be made between you and the consumer, so and the retailer. So we are in a situation where nobody knows what they really need to do, but we are mitigating the risk. So touching something and actually putting something in close contact with the vital points where the transmission can occur, be it your mouth or your nose. Those two things we need to put into the discussion, because it's about contact. It's about how long you have been in contact with a person. Hence the issue of social distancing. So it is a difficult one. So let's just work together until we find for certain how we're going to manage the situation.
Okay, Omaso Vilege, Consumer Goods Council, we are living at a period where nobody knows what to do, but all we have to do is to try and minimize the impact of coronavirus. Ngicela ke kuva umbuto wakho ukuthi, or rather ngicela kuva umbono wakho ngenzaba yokuthi why bangazivumele ukuthi sibuyisele timpahla, why bangazivumele ukuthi singafiti timpahla esitolo, kepha siyavumeleka ukuthi singene esitolo sithinze sitibuke sitiphathaphathe.
Mina Simpiwe nababukeli, I'm glad usis Matlo uthi, you know, everyone is trying here. So agekho umuntu one answer straight ukuthi masingalandela le formula, then we will be 100% sure ukuthi siyayikheba le virus. However, for now, ama policies abekiwe masiwalandele kuleso stolo, masisilandele lezo zinto. As much as Tina, we are advocating for the rights of consumers, at the same time, we are saying, masisebenzisane nabo itolo as consumers, and whereby they are not clear, let us ask. Because in the Tennessee show Simpiwe City, can the consumers be notified? Can the stores have displays ukuthi these are the interim policies due to the coronavirus, you know. Banga surprise ama consumers. That is what we are saying. It's a no and it's violating the rights of consumers. But mabakuluma communication. So njengoba usisimatlo asho ukuthi masibamba kuba ngcono than sifita. But again, on the other hand, nami on the general comment ngithi, on the other hand, kungcono ukuthi si manage i-virus within the store than allow i-product iphume ngomnyango Simpiwe, because once iphuma ngomnyango, I don't think you will have control over that. Ngoba la iyakhona awazi ukuthi i-environment enjani. But if the stores, I'm glad ukuthi sisimatlo ukhona, if the stores can come up with policies, angithi njengoba ngishilo ekuqaleni ukuthi they are allowed to compile those policies as long as zizosebenzisana nabathengi, they are not going ukuthi zihindare abathengi. Can the stores come up with policies ukuthi ba manage the product isasengaphakathi estolo? Yayibona into enjani? Because mayiphuma ngempela asanayo control. Those are just my comments on a personal note ukuthi they can follow that to curb the virus. Let's allow mitigation yalento yonke iyenzakale ngaphakathi estolo, and to minimize ukuthi impahla ziphume zibuye futhi ngaleyo ndlela you don't know. And also let us communicate ukuthi makube sithatha ama returns, how are we going to disinfect those products ukuthi zibe proper and ready to be displayed for the next customer? I trust ukuthi siyafollow abathengi ukuthi let's talk as istolo ukuthi when you buy and you return, this is what we are going to do to those products to make sure ukuthi the next person akatholi leyo contraction.
You spoke at great length about control of these clothing items. I mean, just monitoring the purchases of these clothing items. Ngifuna ukuthi sikhulume ngendaba ye-online shopping that is expressed in the Electronics Communication and Transaction Act. Kuthi-ke yona-ke ingabe ama-amendments ayayithinza yini i-online shopping?
Can I come on that one, Spiwe?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. All right. Online transaction on a normal day, we educate consumers ukuthi they must transact with the reputable stores, you know, brands that are known, avoid ama surprises, and they must read ama terms and conditions. That is on a normal day, kungana national disaster. But now we are saying to them also, Consumer Protection Act and Electronic Communication and Transaction Act, it's talking to them ukuthi the consumers still have the right to return anything that is not according to the description when they were transacting online. They are given 7 days cooling off period to return without explanation. So you understand, so those rights are there even on online. So now we are saying they must come to some agreement. The consumers have the rights of 7 days to return, and on the other hand, we are trying to curb the virus. So can the retailers online also communicate? I know with Mauya Guma website where online banama frequently asked questions. Those documents, can they be updated? Basho Uguti, for the interim, these are the terms and conditions in order to make sure that we curb the spread of the virus, so that normal transactor via online, you are informed, Uguti, will you be able to return if there's something wrong with the product, or will you be able to say, no, I'm changing my mind, I do not want this product anymore. So the same applies in Piwe Nabalaleli, Uguti, whatever that we are purchasing, can I be told, Uguti, what are my rights in terms of returning?
All right.
And due to the virus problem, this is what we have put in place as the store.
Okay, asishiye lapho ke. Matlo, I would love to get your views with regards to online shopping after the break. Bekunene asasithathe ke likhefu sekugcina. Siyabuya khona nyama. Asinamukele bekunene sayicucubela ke indzaba yethu namhla yekubuyisela kwetimpahla etitolo noma ke kulinganisa timpahla etitolo lesingasavunyelwa nyalo. Now Matlo, Oma touched at great length about the issue of returns with regards to online shopping. Just as we wrap the show, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay. Ngithanda le ndaba yokuthi we need to keep emphasizing that umthetho, the Consumer Protection Act, applies to anyone that does a transaction with a consumer. So either be it on an online platform, either being in an informal sector or in a formal sector, that the principle will apply. And I sort of added the fourth R for consumers to take away once this show is done, is that return, repair, refund, and replace. That is what is available to you. But in as much as the consumer has the right, the business also has the right to operate in South Africa. So we need to strike a balance and work together. As and when you return your product, give them the necessary information and the necessary reasons why, and then let's just work together. The Consumer Protection Act is there to get the consumer and the person that is providing a service so that we can work together in a more amicable manner. So that's the message that we can re-emphasize, either on a online platform as a hawker or on in a shop that which you go to in a mall or so.
We don't have much time, unfortunately, Matlo, but then can you categorically confirm that returns will now be allowed on level 1? Because we know that return policies differ. Some take 2 weeks, some take 3 weeks, or even a month. So what if the return period or return window expires while I'm still waiting for level 1?
I think Usis Oma can clarify that better than I would. I won't give justice to it.
Okay.
However, the return policy has never changed. We are saying people had to put measures in place in terms of risk assessment and virus containment, to put measures in place to work with the consumers to mitigate the risk.
Let's leave it there for now. We are pressed for time. Omar Amaru, just your closing comments in 10 seconds.
Thank you so much. Okay, returns are still allowed. If ever your return couldn't be made because of lockdown, the stores will be able to accommodate you. The same goes with your warranty and your guarantees. We've urged the stores to accommodate you, because if your guarantee or warranty has lapsed within the period of lockdown, when you go back now as the stores are open, you should be able to be accommodated, Simpiwe.
All right, Omar Amaru from the Consumer Goods and Service Ombuds and Matlo Setati from the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa. Many thanks to our guests for joining us there on Skype in today's show. And the rest of the team wishing you a blessed week.